Hi, and welcome back to Fog of Work. You and we've been through a lot. We've watched the same headlines scroll by, seen the same price hikes at the grocery store, felt the same anxiety about our jobs, our bills, and our future. And when we hear that Trump is back, that Musk is leading a new government agency, and the new tariffs are coming, it's hard not to feel like things are about to get even worse. But this video isn't just about headlines. It's about us, the people who work hard, who follow the rules, who try to survive in a system that keeps moving the goalposts. So let's talk about what's really going on, and more importantly, what it means for you, for me, for all of us trying to hang on to a decent life. Let's start with what's going on right now, because this isn't just background noise. It's the beginning of the storm we're already standing in. Donald Trump is back in the office, and one of his first big moves was to launch a so-called Departments of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Sounds harmless, right? But he didn't just put anyone in charge. He handed it over to Elon Musk. Yes, the same Elon Musk who's been guiding workforces, pushing for extreme productivity at any cost, and showing little patience for regulation or public accountability. Now, with Musk leading DOGE, federal employees are being cut loose. Thousands of jobs slashed under the name of streamlining. Essential contracts, many that support public infrastructure, healthcare, education, and IT, are being abruptly cancelled. Programs that serve communities, especially the most vulnerable, are being downsized or defunded completely. It's not just about saving money. It's about reshaping government to serve corporate interests while stripping away protections and services that working people rely on. At the same time, Trump is taking a sledgehammer to global trade. He's announced a sweeping 10% tariff on all imported goods, with targeted hikes of 54% of Chinese products and 20% on goods from the European Union. This isn't just cyber rattling, it's already provoked retaliation. China responded almost immediately with a 34% tariff on American goods, impacting everything from machinery to agricultural exports. Canada and the EU are expected to strike back next, and they won't hold back. Global financial markets are reacting with fear and instability. Stocks are plunging, supply chains are already disrupted, and JP Morgan has warned there's now a 60% chance of a full-blown global recession by the end of the year. These are the kinds of shockwaves that don't just hit Wall Street. They ripple through every warehouse, every kitchen table, every paycheck. And the fallout is already hitting home. Stellantis, one of the biggest automakers in the world and parent company of brands like Jeep, Chrysler, and Dodge, has announced over 1,300 layoffs. That's not a projection. That's 1,300 people, families, and livelihoods gone. Entire plants are being closed down or paused indefinitely. GM is trying to save face by announcing new American-made initiatives, but many of those projects are politically timed smokescreens. Behind the scenes, job cuts and offshoring continue. The reality is, these companies are protecting their profit margins, not our communities. And for the rest of us, the squeeze is just beginning. Everyday essentials are getting more expensive by the day. Experts are already estimating that a new iPhone could soon cost $2,300. Not because the technology is better, but because the supply chain is under pressure and tariffs are inflating costs at every level. And it won't stop at electronics. Expect your grocery bill to spike. Expect your heating bill to climb. Expect to pay more for clothes, tools, appliances, anything that isn't made right next door. Rent is climbing, repairs are more costly. And your paycheck? It's staying right where it is, while everything else moves up. And they'll still say it's about protecting American jobs. But let's be honest, it's not. It's about protecting corporate power while we pay the price, again. Now let's talk about how this plays out for folks on the ground, because these aren't just policy moves. They have real consequences for real people. Look, I'm not reading this from some ivory tower. I live this reality too. If you're a federal worker, you've probably already felt the fear. Pink slips, downsizing, frozen budgets. You worry about how you're going to explain it to your kids, how you'll make their mortgage next month, whether your health insurance will still be there. It's not just a budget cut, it's a punch to your entire life. And if you're in the private sector, don't get too comfortable. The dominoes are already falling. When government contracts dry up, businesses start bleeding. They tighten up. They cut jobs, reduce shifts, stop hiring. And when that happens, we, the everyday workers, are the first ones to feel it. Then there is the daily grind that's becoming more expensive by the hour. These tariffs aren't just abstract policy, they're attacks on our lives. You walk into a store and the price of milk is up, your utility bill creeps higher, a car repair that used to cost $300 now sets you back $500, and no one is giving us raises to match any of it. Tariffs are regressive. They hit the people who already have the least. We are surviving week to week. A jump in grocery costs or rent isn't an inconvenience, it's a crisis. Meanwhile, the companies cheering this on are doing just fine. Take Tesla. They'll shift their marketing, tout American-made vehicles, and rake on the profits. And their workers? Still grinding, still disposable, still at the mercy of the same toxic hustle culture. This isn't economic policy. It is exploitation wrapped in patriotism. They want us just busy enough, just scared enough, just tired enough to never push back. And if you're watching this from Canada, don't think for a second that you're just a bystander in all of this. You're not. You're in the blast zone as well. The Canadian government is trying to stand its ground, cutting payments to US companies like Tesla, pulling electric vehicle rebates, retaliating where it can. On paper, it sounds like strength. In practice, it's a storm, and we are the ones getting soaked. If you're working in exports, auto manufacturing, steel, agriculture, you've probably already seen the writing on the wall. Orders are slowing, hours are being trimmed, and every meeting with your manager feels like it could be the one where they say, "We are downsizing." And for small businesses, it's brutal. The US is often the biggest customer. When that customer suddenly throws up walls, the impact is immediate. Lost sales, cancelled contracts, employees getting let go not because of poor performance, but because of political power games beyond anyone's control. Now add the rising cost of living to that mix. We've all seen the grocery bill climb. Utility rates inch upward, public transit fares increase, but wages? They've stayed frozen in place. So you stretch your paycheck thinner, you skip a night out, you delay the dental appointment, and still it's not enough. The people making these decisions aren't the ones clipping coupons or checking their account balance before buying groceries. They're not the ones wondering if this will be the year they can't afford to heat their homes. We're told it's about economic sovereignty. But what good is sovereignty if your people can't afford to live with dignity? So wherever you are, on either side of the border, here's what matters. Our fight is the same. We might have different leaders, different currencies, different systems, but at the end of the day, we're living parallel lives. You clock in early and stay late, you put your head down, you follow the rules, and yet somehow it's always harder. More expensive, more stressful. Maybe you're in Canada trying to hold your family together on a single income. Either way, you feel it. The squeeze, the silent exhaustion, the endless hustle that never seems to move you forward. We're told to blame each other, to point fingers across borders or job titles, to think the problem is your neighbor, not the structure that keeps us all struggling. But the truth is clearer than ever. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as it was designed. For the powerful, for the rich, for those who sit at the top and profit from our fatigue. And here's what scares them most: unity. If we stop seeing each other as a competition and start seeing each other as allies, the game changes. The moment we say, "I see you struggle, I believe you, I stand with you," that's the moment things start to shift. We don't have to agree on every policy, every issue, but we can agree on this. We all deserve better. We all deserve a life that isn't defined by burnout and survival. So let's stop playing their game. Let's stop blaming the people beside us and start questioning the people above us. Because if we don't, no one else will. You're trapped in a machine that was never built to help you thrive. But the more we talk about it, the more we expose it, the more power we take back. So if this message hit home, check out my other videos. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's build a community where we can speak the truth, support each other, and maybe, just maybe, start changing things. Stay sharp, stay human, and don't let them convince you that this is the best we can get. See you in the next one.